Hello and welcome back to this House of Walls. I am of course here with my cup of coffee. I have a really big book haul to show you guys. The month of December was definitely a book buying month. Some of it was I had Christmas money. Some I was able to take books to my local bookstore and exchange them, and so that worked out really well. So I'm gonna go quickly because there's a lot. There's 25 books. Some of them I bought whole series just because it was cheaper to buy it that way. All of my books came from either Amazon, my local used bookstore, or book outlet, and so I'll try to say where I got them from as I am going. First book is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I started the year finishing this one and I am so glad that I bought it. It's just so good. It's fantasy, low stakes, about Viv, who is trying to open a coffee shop in a town that doesn't know what coffee is. And so it was fantastic. I cannot wait for the next in the series to come out later in this year. My next book is Shady Hollow by Juno Black. This one I have heard is a cozy murder mystery set with animals. And while the murder itself is supposed to be pretty severe, it's still a cozy murder mystery, so I'm really excited to start this. The next is Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know it has to do with witches. I've seen it on a couple of TBRs and book hauls, so I thought it would be fun to add. Alright, my next stack of books is very dragon themed. I don't know a whole lot about them because my fantasy preference is to not know a lot about them before I go into them. The first one that I have is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, and this is by Marie Brennan. The next is The Shadow of Gods by John Gwynne, and this is the first in the Bloodsworn trilogy, I believe. I have never read anything by John Gwynne, so I'm excited to start this. The next is The Ruin of Kings by John Lyons. Again, don't know a whole lot about it. I have seen it here on BookTube and thought that it sounded good enough to purchase. The next is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is by far my biggest book that I have. It is a standalone and I'm excited to start it. The next is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first era. I know that in this series there are two different eras, and this one is the first that takes place in more medieval times. I have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson, so this will be fun to get to. Then we have The Legendary Inga by Kate Stradling. This I heard Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day. She read this November or December and really liked it, and I just love this cover. The next is Jade City by Fonda Lee, and this is the first in the Greenbone saga. I do know that this has to do with Jade being able to enhance magical abilities, so sounds fantastic. This came as a box set and I'm so excited. This is The Wheel of Time. So I got book 1, book 2, and book 3. The next box series that I got was the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. So this is the 5th season, which I did start last night. I'm not very far, but I'm very intrigued so far. The Obelisk Gate, and The Stone Sky. The next couple of books I did get from Book Outlet, and so the first being The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, The Sentence by Louise Erdrich, and Four Seasons of the Sky by Jenny Tingu Zong. Now we have the last box set that I got, and it is the first 3 in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. This is the only sci-fi that I got. I have book 1, book 2, and book 3. And then I went to my used bookstore and they had book 4 in that series. So of course I picked that up. The last 2 were from my used bookstore. So I have Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And my last book is The Lioness by Chris Bourgelain. So it's a lot of books. I fully understand and know that, but I wanted to set myself up for 2023 to have some fantastic books to get into. I know that in 2022, I learned a lot about my reading preferences, and so I definitely want to dive more into fantasy, as you can see from this book haul. So getting them in December as a big book haul just worked great by using Amazon and Book Outlet and my used bookstore. I will definitely be taking you guys along on some of these journeys. I am pretty new to some of these genres of books and authors, but I have heard such wonderful things about some of these books and series, so I can't wait to share them all with you.